What's going on, everybody? Let's take a bump and continue our New Year's celebration with some predictions for the champions that will end 2025. Now, I made some predictions at the end of 2020, at the beginning of 2024, for who would end 2024. And I was not correct. I was way off. I got only 3 right out of about 45. Give or take. So the ones I got right were Cody as the Universal Champion, Gunther as the World Heavyweight Champion, and Zack Sabre Jr. as the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Everything else of New Japan, TNA, AEW, and WWE were all wrong. So this year, I'm hoping to correct my mistakes. So let me jump right into it because this is going to be a lot of listing, and let's just plow right through it. We're going to start with WWE and then end with New Japan. So first up, the Universal Champion, currently held by Cody Rhodes. I think CM Punk is going to have this championship. It's going to, have to do with Paul Heyman giving him the favor that he owes Punk. So I think we'll see Punk get the title off of Cody, Rock, Roman, whoever's going to have it sometime in 2024. Next, the World Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Gunther. And I think Drew McIntyre will get his hands back on it, win a title after, in front of a crowd after he won in 2020, had a title reign immediately ripped out of his hands by CM Punk. So Drew is going to get a big one and actually hold on to this one, whether it's straight from Gunther or whether it's from somebody else in between. Next, the WWE Women's World Champion, currently Liv Morgan. I think this is going to go to Io Sky. I'm not so certain about this and the Women's Championship, but I think Liv is gonna lose it to Rhea, most likely. And then Rhea, come Mania, if Rhea doesn't win it at Mania, then I think Rhea will get it back at some point, and then before the end of the year, we're gonna see Rhea versus Io. Spectacular match, most likely. And then Io will grab that championship off of Rhea. Next, the WWE Women's Champion, currently Tiffany Stratton, but she didn't end 2024 with the title. She started 2024 with the title, so ending was Nia Jax, but I still picked Shayna Baszler last year. I think Bianca Belair is going to end 2025 as champion. I think everything's going to circle back to Jade getting attacked and making that kind of the main title scene, whether it involves Bayley, Naomi, what have you. I think Bianca is going to end up with that championship along the way. Next, the WWE United States Champion, currently Shinsuke Nakamura. In fact, he showed up to Noah's New Year with that championship, which was awesome to see. I think Jacob Fatu is going to end this year with it. Not too confident, but I think they got to put a title in his hands at some point, and him being on SmackDown, I think it's only appropriate that he would have that championship. I don't think he'd get the World Championship just yet, but the United States Championship, I think, is along those lines. Next, the WWE Intercontinental Championship, currently held by Braun Breaker. I think Sheamus is going to end the year with this. It's the only title he needs to round out his, every title in the company. And I think, who's the champion? Braun Breaker's the champion right now. I think him versus Sheamus would be incredible. I think Sheamus could go on a long run with that championship and go all the way to past the end of the year with it. I think Sheamus could win it straight from Braun Breaker. Next, the WWE Women's United States Champion, currently Chelsea Green. And so I have zero basis for who could win this. I am going to guess Sonya Deville because Chelsea and Sonya have history. They were a tag team before Sonya got injured or had to be part of a lawsuit or something, I forget. but then was replaced by Piper Niven. You got a story there. You got a story. And Sonya, if they have Pure Fusion Collective be a dominant force, could hold on to that for quite a bit. Next, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, currently up for grabs. It is vacant. I think Dakota Kai is going to win it and hold on to it for a long time. I think once they get that title in Dakota's hands, or whoever's going to win it, that person is going to hold on to it for a while, and they're going to kind of forget about it. Not forget about it, but kind of just like let it be on the sidelines, have a few defenses, but not really have any major stories involved in that yet. Because looking at the list of championships, it's pretty bloated. I think, yes, these titles are important, but I think they can kind of shelve priority for them. Next, the WWE World Tag Team Championships, currently held by the Viking Raiders. I think it's going to be New Day. New Day is going to hold on to these for a while after taking them from the War Raiders. And now that they had one of the best segments of all time in WWE, they are going to hold on to those for a while. No idea who could even take them off them. I don't think those people are even in the company yet. Next up, the WWE Tag Team Champions, currently DIY. I could see DIY holding onto them for a bit, but I think Lucha Brothers will end the year with them. We know Penta and Fenix are on their way. Obviously, Fenix needs more time, and so they're going to pitch Penta as a singles wrestler. But I think by the time Fenix joins WWE, they'll be a tag team and could win the titles off of DIY or whoever takes them off DIY. Next, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, currently held by Bianca and Jade. I think that this could go to Pure Fusion Collective. You know, I feel like Triple H is confident in Pure Fusion Collective, and 2025 might be their year. So you'll have Sonya as the Women's United States Champion, and then the rest as the Tag Team Champion, so Shayna and Zoe. The NXT Champion, currently held by Trick Williams. Now, I am going to go with Ricky Starks. Now, this is a bold pick because my gut is telling me Obafemi. I picked Obafemi last year, but I think he's going to shoot right past the NXT Championship or have a short reign and then just go right to main roster. He is main roster ready, and I don't think he needs to spend any more time in NXT. So I think Ricky Starks, he will make it to WWE sometime this year and will get that NXT Championship, just like similar to when Ethan Page won it. Next, we have the NXT Women's Championship, currently held by Roxanne Perez. I think Stephanie Vaquer will end the year with it. Julia is another contender for it, but I think she will move right past to the main roster and it will go right to Stephanie, or Julia could get it and then swap to Stephanie, do a little flip-flop. Next, the NXT North American Champion, currently Tony D'Angelo. I think Javon Evans will win this and end the year with it. It's tough to say because Javon, it could also be main roster ready. I mean, he had a fantastic match against Randy Orton, so I think Javon could be North American Champion. They've surprised me before with not putting people straight up to main. I mean, Wes Lee is somebody that I think is ready for main roster, but he has stayed as a staple of NXT for so long and hasn't won the NXT Championship, so I think Javon could be in that same vein and get the North American Championship and kind of be the foundation of that division. Next, the NXT Women's North American Champion. Didn't have a pick last year, but currently it's held by Fallon Henley. I have no idea who this could go to. This feels like such a wild card championship. So I'm just going to go with Carmen Petrovic. She's shown versatility, and her stint in GCW in Bloodsport, I think, is a good sign that they view her highly and that she can separate herself from the rest of the division. Not quite full women's champion, not quite women's world champion, but North American champion. I think she'll end the year on. Next, the NXT Tag Team Champions, currently held by Fraxium. This one's also up in the air because you never know what teams are going to form over the year. Who's going to get called up. I mean, my gut wanted to say Gallus because Gallus are such a great team. However, they seem like a team that's already main roster ready. I don't know why they've been held for NXT for so long, but I think they're good to go to the main roster. So I don't think they will have the titles. The team that will, I'm going to say OTM. I don't know why, but that's just my gut feeling. Next, the NXT Heritage Cup, currently held. Who is holding that right now, actually? Is it Charlie Dempsey? Is Charlie Dempsey holding that still? Oh no, it's Lexis King. Lexis King is holding that. I think it's going to go to Tavion Heights. That man has showed himself to be so spectacular, especially his stint in Noah in the N1 tournament. So I think Tavion Heights will have that championship and continue to add to the prestige of it and give us some amazing matches along the way. All right, next, AEW. I didn't get a single one right in AEW last year, so let's try again. AEW World Champion, I'm going to say Adam Page. I think they are giving it time after that Fatal 4-Way to put the title on Adam Page. Darby should be the next one. Yeah, so it's going to be Copeland facing Mox. Christian will probably use the contract in that match, screwing out Copeland. They'll have another thing, and then Darby will scoot in for the championship. Darby will win the championship, and then Adam Page will come in. Either Adam Page or Jay White, and regardless of who, Adam Page will win. But we'll have it by the end of the year. Next, the AEW Women's World Champion, currently Mariah May. I think Toni Storm is the most likely candidate for this. She's the only one that really makes sense to take the title off of Mariah May, especially now that she's got this excellent new story of this weird memory loss that she has. So I think she's the most interesting thing going on in the women's division in AEW still, and she'd be the perfect person to grab that title, have it for a long while. So the TBS champion, currently Mercedes Moné. This one's tough because I don't see her losing the title anytime soon. So anyone that is in any position to get the title is not going to have it. It's going to be a whole different set of contenders most likely by the time the end of the year comes. But I think Jamie Hayter is the most likely candidate. The other guess is Julia Hart, but comparing Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart, Julia's already had the championship, and Jamie Hayter has had a long stint away from AEW, where she was injured. So I think Jamie Hayter will get the championship. Next, the AEW World Tag Team Champions, currently Private Party. This one's tough too because the tag division is kind of slim pickings, it feels like. But I'm going to say the Kingdom. I picked the Kingdom last year. I think this year it's better chances because they've now got the rounded, undisputed elite, their faces. I think it's looking good for them. And I feel like Private Party will lose to maybe a heel team, and then the Kingdom will scoop it up from them. Next, the international champion, currently Konosuke Takeshita, who looks like he's never losing that championship. He looks like he will die with that championship held in his arms in that casket. So I have zero clue, but my guess is it after Takeshita has taken it to the Tokyo Dome, they want that championship to be in the hands of somebody else who can be in the Tokyo Dome 2 nights in a row and be a big deal. So I think Jay White is going to get that championship next. Next, the TNT Championship, currently held by Daniel Garcia. Man, I don't know. I'm going to guess Ricochet. I think Ricochet could be a good contender for it. He seems like he's, top mid-card, if not low main event card. And especially it will be at the end of the year. I think he'd be a good person to be holding on to the TNT Championship, who could just, kind of throw out open challenges, because I feel like that's the open challenge title. The AEW World Trios Champions, currently the Death Riders. This is another wild card championship because you never know who they're going to kind of screw over with it. They screwed over House of Black by putting these titles on them, thus relegating them to just the Trios division, which is almost like a dead division. But I think they'll do the same with the Hurt Syndicate. I don't want this to happen, but I think they'll do it. Shelton, Bobby, and a third. Is there a third? No, there's no third in the Hurt Syndicate, but I feel like they'll get a third, and then they'll put the Trios championships on them. Maybe they'll get Leo Rush and Action Andretti, put the titles on those two and Shelton, and Bobby will hold another title. But I think either way, the Hurt Syndicate will hold the Trios championships at the end of the year. Next, the AEW Continental Champion, currently Kazuchika Okada. This one's also tough to say because Okada's been the only one to hold that championship. And besides Eddie Kingston. But I think Takeshita has proven that he is a big deal, and I feel like the Continental Champion needs to be somebody who can just hold on, who can realistically hold on a championship for a long time. And Takeshita seems like that kind of person after his international run. So let's go with Takeshita. All right, TNA. This one is also tough because I haven't watched much TNA lately, especially after they reacquired Tessa Blanchard. So let's try to guess. TNA World Champion, currently Nick Nemeth. And the reason these championships are also tough is because TNA has proven that they will do who knows what. You can't predict that. So I think Steve Maclin will end the year with the championship. He had a great title reign when he last had it, and he's proven to be kind of the TNA guy. He's got the TNA blood. I don't see him leaving anytime soon, like Josh Alexander will soon be. So Maclin, I think, will win that championship. Next, the Knockouts World Champion. I don't want it to be like this, but I have a really good feeling it's going to be Tessa Blanchard. I don't want it to happen, but it probably will happen. TNA would. Next, the X Division Champion, currently Moose. It's another tough one because Moose seems like, such a dominant champion. Who knows who could take the belt off of him? Mike Bailey couldn't. So I think Mustafa Ali could be a good contender to take it off. If not take it off, have it by the end of the year. I think Mustafa could have that championship again. Not quite the world championship, but eventually I think Ali will make it his way up to the world championship. But I think this year he'll just still be doing the X Division. Next, the Digital Media Champion. Who knows? Really, who knows? PCO's held on to it for so long. He might still end 2025 with it. But I think Brian Myers, I don't know. Brian Myers, sure. Next, the World Tag Team Champions. Right now, the Hardys. The Rascals. They're the only... The thing is, what team could compete with the Hardys? That's a tough question. I think the Rascals are the best, up-and-coming... Not even up-and-coming team. They've been established for a while now. So I think the Rascals would be kind of the best contender for beating the Hardys. Next, the Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, currently Spitfire. I think it's still going to be Spitfire, whether they lose the championship at some point in the year but gain it back, or they just hold on to it for the entire year. But Spitfire is... they're a great team. All right, and finally, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's start off with the World Heavyweight Championship. Gabe Kidd has shown to be a face of New Japan. He is shown to be an incredible gaijin after the match with Kenny Omega and just his career overall as of late. I think he's going to end the year as a World Heavyweight Champion. They're kind of losing main eventers. So after Zack loses it, who knows who will lose it to, but I think Gabe Kidd could end the year with it. Next, the Junior Heavyweight Championship, currently held by El Desperado. Unfortunately, Doki had his elbow broken in his match against El Desperado. So how this is all going to go down is kind of unpredictable, but there are still little contenders in the Junior Heavyweight division. So Hiromu Takahashi's always proven to be a good, reliable name in that division, so I think he'll get the championship back. Next, the global heavyweight champion, currently Yota Tsuji, after the match at Wrestle Kingdom, but ending the year was David Finlay. I think El Phantasmo is gonna have this championship by the end of the year. You know, with my luck, Tsuji will probably still be holding on to it, but LP, after, you know, he beat cancer and he just came back to a roaring crowd. He already won the TV title. He'll probably lose that at some point in the year and then gain the global heavyweight championship. Next, the never openweight champion, currently Konosuke Takeshita. I think it'll still be Takeshita. I think as long as Takeshita holds that belt and is defending it in AEW, New Japan, and DDT, they don't want it in anybody else's hands. Next, the New Japan World TV title, currently held by El Phantasmo. I don't know. This belt is such like another wild card that I'm gonna say Great Okan. I'm gonna say Great Okan is gonna have that championship. Next, the strong openweight champion, currently Gabe Kidd. Now, Gabe Kidd, after he loses the strong openweight belt, he is moving up. He is moving up, so he has to lose to somebody who doesn't necessarily bring him down when he loses. Somebody who is kind of a wild card in and of themselves, and like a guy who losing to him isn't the worst thing. And I think, although he's most recently a young lion, Oleg Boltin, I think he will be the strong openweight champion. He's not high up on the card. I think he's a trios champion right now. But I think because of he almost Brock Lesnar energy to him, that aura, I think he could win the strong openweight belt, and Gabe Kidd still moves up the ladder. The IWGP Women's Champion, currently Mayu Iwatani. And this one I'm not so certain of because I don't know too much about Stardom, but I watched Queendom, and I see where they're going with the company, and after watching like Wrestle Kingdom as well, I kind of see the direction they're going. Saya Kamitani, after this stint that she's on, seemingly collecting belts, she grabbed the Stardom red belt, another belt from a different company. I can't remember the name of the company, but I think what's next for her is the IWGP Women's Championship, and then go on to say Forbidden Door, face Mercedes Moné, because both of them have insane aura, just insane aura. Next, the Strong Women's Champion, currently Mercedes Moné. I think this will go to Tekla by the end of the year. I'm probably being too over enthusiastic with these picks because New Japan has shown they don't change belts very often, but I think Tekla will end the year. I picked Tekla last year. I'm gonna pick Tekla again. I'm just hoping the best for Tekla because she's awesome. Next, the IWGP Tag Team Champions, currently the Young Bucks, but ending the year it was the United Empire, kind of vacant after Henare's injury, but I think this will be the War Dogs. I picked War Dogs last year. I'm going with them again. I think the War Dogs in any combination could win these belts. Maybe it'll be Finlay and Gabe Kidd. Maybe they'll move Maloney and Connors up to heavyweight status, but regardless, I think it'll be War Dogs. Next, the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, currently held by Ichiban Sweet Boys. I think it'll be Catch 2-2 at the end of the year. It feels like the belts always revolve back to them at some point. And Catch 2-2 I feel like are just getting started in their incredible career in the junior division, and they don't seem like a team that's going to move up to the heavyweight division at any point. Next, the Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. Who knows? Honestly, who knows? The Grizzly Young Veterans are holding them now. I don't know. So I'm going to say West Coast Wrecking Crew. I feel like they're always in that division. They're always like revolving around the titles. So West Coast Wrecking Crew, I feel, gives a safe bet. Next, the Never Openweight 6-Man Tag Team Champions. Currently, God, who is it? It's like Tanahashi, Boltin, and Oriano or Ishii or something. because Okada was part of the team, but he left to AEW, and so the third belt was like put somebody else. I don't know who has it now. I know it's Tanahashi, Bolton, and somebody else. So I think LIJ. I don't know. I don't have LIJ really anywhere in this list besides Hiromu getting the junior heavyweight belt, so screw it. It'll be like Bushi, Titan, and Shingo or something. Alright, well those are my predictions for the championships in 2025. We'll check back in at the end of 2025 to see how all those predictions went. Let me know who you think will be any of those champions by the end of the year. I look forward to hearing your predictions. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.